And these people hold grudges. These TV people, they like any type
For
of
sure.
betrayal you're going to hold on to. And like, you'll remember that.
For sure. There are still people that I don't like.
Yeah. Do tell.
No.
Yeah. No, it's,
But people do. But people do.
you can't say that. You can't just be like, yeah, me too. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. Make sure to
like,
comment,
and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BachMakers, presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Michael. That's Charlotte. And today we have a special guest to help recap Season 3, Episode 9 of Traitors. Dylan Barbour's here. He's back for like the 5th or 6th time on this show, our most reoccurring guest of all time. Dylan, we were just talking, you enjoying Traitors. You're in deep in this show. What are your overall thoughts on this season so far?
You guys need to get me a championship belt for being the most recurring guest. So I expect a plaque
Why do you have that again?
because I currently hold the world record for most dim sum eaten in 2 minutes.
Is that Guinness confirmed?
I mean, it's confirmed by Dylan.
Okay.
It was like third. It was like 27 or something. I had like 32. I can't remember. Uh, no, I love. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's. I love Survivor, so it's a mix of like Survivor and I've never seen Big Brother, but it sounds like it's very similar to Big Brother too. But it's electric. I do think. So you guys haven't seen season two. Everybody on season two. Again, I haven't finished it, but everyone seems like way smarter than the people on season three. I think the collective like game IQ is pretty low
Well,
from
Tom
the current
Sandoval
cast.
lowers that average by a lot.
God, talk about comeback player of the year. I mean, he is I laugh every time he's on the screen. And he's so wrong about everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. But like I feel I feel like Danielle is pretty terrible. Like bad game player in general and then also just like it's just very unlikable in a sense. I don't know what it is. I'm sure she's like great in person. Don't know her personally,
Mm-hmm.
but like I again, it's easy to be the armchair quarterback. I feel like I would have caught on to her being a traitor like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, we've all been anti Danielle. What are your thoughts on Carolyn? Because
I think she's just insane.
okay, Charlotte loves Carolyn. Charlotte's like the number one Carolyn fan.
Yeah, I think she's crazy, but like it was funny that everyone was like, "No, she's not a traitor. Like, there's
Yeah.
just no chance." They just wrote her off. She shouldn't have taken her shot, though. She should have waited one more week. I thought she jumped the gun a little bit there.
Charlotte, what do you have to say? I know we're jumping the gun a little bit. Obviously, everyone watching
Yeah.
this knows Carolyn's gone, but how do we feel? How are we feeling?
I feel awful. This whole episode, I was watching it, and I was just like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, and I knew it was coming, and I was dreading the moment. And I have actually just been asking myself, like, I've been thinking about it a lot. I was just like, should they have just recruited a traitor that night?
Oh, at
If
the
they had
beginning of
done
the
that,
episode?
if they had just recruited a traitor, then there would be more chaos because there wouldn't have been a murder. So then it wouldn't have just been a normal day and a normal challenge. So that the eyes wouldn't have all been on Carolyn, despite the answers.
But
You know?
we all agreed it was the smart idea to kill someone at that point.
No, well, yeah, but I'm saying, but my point is that Carolyn went home, like, so clearly something went wrong. Like, it didn't go the way they planned it. So I'm saying if they had recruited someone and there wasn't a murder that night, there just would have been so much chaos the next day, like the day of the challenge that got Carolyn out eventually. So people would have been more suspicious of everyone, not just Carolyn. So I'm saying, like, if they had recruited someone, would the eyes have all been on her? Or could the blame have gotten tossed to someone else? You know, see what I mean?
I don't think they would
Yeah,
have
like
agreed to recruit anyone though, because Danielle wants to bring her BFF in, and Carolyn's just
Yeah.
like, "We're not going to do that." So I don't think they would have ever agreed on it.
I'm honestly surprised that Danielle agreed to kill. I thought, we talked about it, we thought the compromise
Mm-hmm.
was going to be on Gabby or someone like that.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that Danielle was like, okay, fine. Like, let's kill. And she just, like, gave in. It seemed...
Mike, what?
I kind of think Danielle is a genius. okay, everybody online saying, "Oh, there's a reason she's still here and all the other traitors aren't." Yeah, she's kind of like sneakily having such a bad game that it's genius. And this episode, obviously, we'll get into what happened to the challenge and everything, but like Carolyn sold. She absolutely sold
Mm-hmm.
with the decision she made for answering each question or whatever. She absolutely sold that game away. And Danielle's kind of just sitting back. Now, is she going a little over the top with the whole acting and like crying and falling out of the chair at the round table, which we'll get to that later? But I mean, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, you can't argue with the results, I guess. And I think people are just mad of how she got here, but the results are the results. She got here. She's the lone traitor, and she's probably gonna win this thing, right? Because I don't think people are the only person that's really onto her is Dylan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
everything
think Gab,
changes now because Brittany, like everything's gonna.
I think it's too late in the game. They shouldn't be allowed to recruit someone when there's like 7 people left.
Well, they
I think
had
that's
to
kind
for the
of
sake of the show, though. They can't just have Danielle go in there and talk to herself. Like she can't just decide. Like there has to be some sort of like communication. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, it just seems so. It's like, how are they supposed to figure out now that the other girl is a traitor too? Brittany, right? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brittany.
I mean, because there's literally like 6 people left, isn't there? Like 6 or 7
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
it's a game and it's not fair. I
Well,
don't.
and we'll talk about Brittany later on because I have I think that's the biggest reason I'm mad at Danielle. Obviously, Danielle made it this far, so she's doing something right. Beginning of the episode, but instead of recruiting someone, they ended up killing Sam. Does anyone have an issue with that? I think we were all on the last recap episode, or like, yeah, it's probably Sam or Dylan, just one of the guys. Anyone have an issue with that? That feels like a pretty safe play.
It was fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what was going on.
Sam was
I,
starting to pick up on things.
at
Yeah.
some point, you've got to kill Dolores and pin it on Tom, and be like, and just be like, you got to vote Tom out. Like
Yeah.
he obviously has been trying to kill her the whole time.
Those two have had the best moment. I'm skipping ahead to the round table because everyone's like Danielle, Carolyn,
And
and
they
they're
just
just
vote
like
for each other.
over each other. It's so petty, and I love it. That's why this show rocks because you get the craziest people from all these shows and just put them in a room together, and it's incredible. But yeah, I think Danielle just at that initial turret meeting was just so just pouty about it. It's like, we gotta recruit Brittany. Why won't you agree with me? And I think that's what's pissing people off a little bit. Let's talk about the challenge a little bit. We have our issues with the challenges on this show. I think this was a good one. I enjoyed this because it gives the faithfuls an opportunity to learn something rather than just earn money, which again, you rich people on these contestants, all on these reality TV shows, you don't need more money. No one cares that you guys got $5,000 extra. No one cares. We want to actually see the strategy played out. I thought this was a good challenge. I was a fan.
Was it you guys who were saying they should remove the money and do like lose a vote and things like that? Was that you
Yes.
guys? I
Yes.
thought that was smart. They should steal some of the Survivor stuff and just do shields, voting, things like that. Like no one cares. Like, oh, I'm going to get this box and get an extra $3,000 for the pot. Just make it 500 grand or something
Yeah.
in the end. That's it.
Yeah, and I feel like I was kind of confused that this challenge didn't have any shields because we find out later that not only Danielle gets to recruit somebody, they also get to kill that night. So like when Brittany eventually joins her, because obviously she's going to say yes, they also get to kill somebody, so it's going to be 2v4.
Yeah.
Well, then they only have to survive one more day, then it's game, right?
Yeah, I feel like
the math wrong.
the
Am I
traitors
math wrong?
have the high ground here. They are in full control. It'd be shocking to mess this up, which Danielle is doing everything she can to mess this up, but it'd be hard to.
There's some like power that they get next week though, right? That like Dylan
Seer.
gets or
They
something.
keep
Whatever.
saying like the seer.
Do
I
we
don't know
know
what
what that
has that
is?
happened before.
I don't know.
So I looked it up what it means because it's in like the card game and stuff. And so whoever is the seer, I don't know when point in the day this happens, if it's after or before the round table, but that person can ask somebody in private and they like, are you a traitor or not? And that person has to tell the truth. And so like the seer will know now. And so then obviously the seer would be like, yo, this person's a traitor,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. So,
but how do you decide who the seer is? Because if it's Dylan, I think they're good.
I'm sure there's a game.
I think it's gonna be Tom. I think it's gonna be Tom, and he's gonna waste it on Dolores.
No,
and it's gonna be so funny.
No, Tom's gonna ask himself. He's gonna go to the mirror and be like, "Are you traitor?"
That would be amazing. Oh my god! But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like recruiting somebody with like 6 people left, like you said, they only have to not get banished one night and kill one more person, and then it's pretty much over.
That's right. Which the finale is in 2 episodes. So
well, but it's not necessarily over. Like, if they get to the end and they ask, like, do you think there's still a traitor here? Then if it ends up just being Gabby, Dylan, and Tom, and if somehow, like, I don't know, Brittany and Dylan get out and they have to keep going until they feel like there isn't a traitor there anymore.
It would be so stressful being a producer on this show, because what if they get rid of the traitors in the first 2 weeks and it's like there's nobody left?
Keep adding more traitors.
They would, yeah.
Yeah. Think about how many people they've brought in. They added like 3 dudes 3 episodes into the season.
That's a good point.
They're recruiting Brittany last minute. Like, they're gonna keep.
They forced Boston Rob on us. They voted to get Boston Rob out like the first 5 minutes of the season. They were like, you know what? No, we have to have him. We have to have
he
Boston
Rob. Yeah, he was good. He was very good. Bob the drag queen and Boston Rob were great. I would love to see more of them. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think get rid of the challenges for money. Just do shields, the voting. Yeah, I wouldn't ever do like a double vote thing though. Either lose your vote or the shields. That's it.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that's what
we're in on that. And this challenge again was pretty solid. It was a crazy set piece too, like a giant chessboard, crazy pieces. Budget has to definitely have gone up the past couple seasons. This is where it feels like Carolyn messed up. She was in a good position. Obviously, her and Danielle are fighting. And then Carolyn, I think it got to her and she just didn't know how to play this, and then ended up giving all the correct answers. And then it basically alerted Dylan. It alerted Dylan that, hey, Carolyn might be a traitor. And I think that was her death sentence at the end. But Carolyn was so close. She just had to survive this, but she just kept talking and she backed herself into a corner.
I can't imagine how hard it is to defend yourself at the round tables. Like if you get rattled for 1 second, they're just like, "Yep, you're a traitor," and vote you out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Carolyn at the first question, where it was like Dylan or Tom for the leader, the answer, like Carolyn and Danielle in the turret agreed on Tom, right?
Yeah,
they agreed on Tom. And Carolyn was like, oh, it's Tom, which is the right answer. And the traitors would know that. But then everybody was like, oh, no, Dylan's for sure our leader, like, blah, 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 blah. And then after the fact, somebody's like, wait, weren't you saying Tom at first? Like, oh, and then she's like, oh, no, I was like, Dylan. That's GG's.
You can't.
Like
that.
You can't go back. You got to stay true to your word.
I never said that. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, no.
It was over. Best part of the challenge though was Tom just thinking everyone was him. Like, who's the leader? He's like, I think it's me, guys. I think I'm the leader. Like, I have to be.
I can't tell. I've met Tom a few times, just like in passing. I can't tell if he's being serious or not. Like on the show, like if he's actually like that way. Because every time I met him, he's like normal-ish. Like we don't like and then when I watch the show, I'm like, this is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen.
He's incredible. So I didn't know the whole Vanderpump stuff going into this show. I just knew of him. I've heard the name. I fell in love with him. Charlotte's been trying to get me to hate him all season long because apparently I'm supposed to.
No,
I'm not buying it. I still don't buy it. Tom rocks, and you can't back me off that. I'm fully on the Tom train.
Not to get sidetracked. Have you never seen Vanderpump Rules?
Never.
The first 3 seasons are the best reality
So
television
good.
show
Really?
in the history of reality TV. Like, I think it's better than Jersey Shore. Like, the first 3, it's electric.
What
Anyway.
about the seasons of reality TV you were on? Better than that?
I mean, yeah, probably. I would much rather watch that than BIP 6 or whatever. I was
Hey, you
watching
were on
that the
Hannah
other day.
Brown's. Hannah Brown's is an all-time season.
That's my favorite season.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. That was a fun, yeah.
I mean,
That
you
was a
weren't a
good
main
one.
character, but
I was internally, maybe not externally.
yeah. I think I've ever asked you when that was airing, where you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a big part of this," or did you know, like, "Hey, I'm in the back end"?
I actually had no idea because you do some stuff. Like, I remember there were like a few like unique things that I did, like one-on-one times and like things that they like made for me. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh wow, like maybe I am gonna have like a ton of screen time in this. Literally just cut all of it. And I was like, oh, perfect.
Tough.
Yeah, it was a tough
Um,
one. But we need to get
uh,
Hannah on Traitors. That's what we're trying to do right now.
who would be better on Traitors, you or Hannah?
We have different games. I
All
would
right,
just
who would be
cause
the better traitor? Who would be the better faithful?
I think I would be the better traitor. She would be the better faithful. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
I
I would
could
just
see
cause
Hannah doing
chaos.
well. Yeah.
I would just complete chaos. Like, I would not care. Just random things, planting ideas. She would be good on. I think she would go far. I think she would do similar to like what Gabby's doing kind of right now. So that's my pitch. We're trying
Yeah,
to make it happen.
I think Hannah would do great as a traitor, just from an outsider perspective, because no one would assume much from
No,
her.
yeah, but that could be the issue too. As like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
just start thinking who would we least expect? Let's just vote them out.
Yeah, I was kind of saying that on the first recap of the traders. Like, all of the traders from this season are game players, whether Big Brother or Survive. I mean, obviously Bob the Drag Queen was kind of not like a game player, but Boston Rob, game player, Carolyn, Survivor. That's like one of the games. They didn't have like a housewife or a bachelorette or like anybody that type of reality TV do
Yeah.
a trader, which I think they would actually do sneaky good because nobody would expect them, and they can kind of just get away with being how they normally are, you know?
Season 2 has a housewife as a traitor, and then I got to the part where they're trying to recruit Peter to become one, but I haven't seen the follow-up, so I don't know if Peter turned into one. I texted him, I was like, hey, did you win? He was like, you'll have to see. I'm like, dude, just fucking tell me. Like,
That's
so now I
awesome.
gotta watch the whole thing.
That's great. Yeah, I would love to see both you and Hannah on, obviously, just for my own personal interest, but I think you guys would actually do well. And
It'd be
I don't know.
fun.
I think it'd be very fun. Is Hannah watching with you? She into it? All right.
She's into it. She's really into it. We'll talk strategy while watching. It's very funny. But she doesn't
They should
understand
also,
she doesn't understand the challenges at all. I was like, honestly, just don't even if you go on, just don't even participate in them.
Yeah,
Just like follow.
just play dumb. Like play dumb, be like I don't know what's going on, like
Yeah.
whatever. And then behind the scenes, like you're in her ear just telling her what to do.
It would be so funny. I know. I hope she gets on. I think she would do well. So that's my goal for the next like month or two.
We'll make that our goal too. We'll make it happen.
Okay. Excellent.
That'd be fun.
Start the petition.
Anything else from the challenge we want to talk about, or do you want to skip to the round table? Anything else stand out?
Carolyn also putting herself as the rat was a terrible decision.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, she's done for. She got greedy. It's over.
Yep.
I
Tony
was watching you with
Snell
her eyes
meme.
closed. It was so bad. It was awful to watch.
She just had an all-time bad challenge, and it caught up to her.
I love Parvati though. She's great. We need more of her on TV.
So those two just came in and sat there and just critiqued people, which I kind of enjoyed, but I didn't know who they were, to be honest.
She's a big Survivor person, and then she was on. Both of them were on last season.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need
Was
to
one of them a
Isn't she
traitor?
on something right now? I don't know if the dealer
Parvati's a
knows
traitor.
Island. Is that a
Yeah,
show
she's
right
on that.
now? Because I see
Yeah,
like gifs of her walking. People are like, she's so pretty. So
yeah, she was on. Also, is that how you say it? GIF? Is that
yeah,
a GIF?
no, definitely Jeff.
She has some Charlotte-isms too. She says, "What is it? How do you say it, Carolyn?"
Carolyn.
I'm from New
Carolyn.
York. Like that's just, or that's how we talk.
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
What about room? How do you say room?
I say room, like normally. But
Okay.
it's like it's certain words like Carolyn or like horrible, orange.
What about
Just-
water?
I say water normally.
Okay.
All right, very
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah,
Water.
that's what I was waiting
Water.
for.
Yeah.
Water and room.
Water. Mhm.
Okay.
All right,
Now
round
he knows.
table. Round table, Carolyn versus Danielle. I mean, this just became this is the showdown we wanted. At the end of the day, this is what people wanted. Maybe it happened a week too early, maybe it happened a week too late. And again, if Carolyn didn't shoot herself in the foot during the challenge, she has a good chance of winning this. Danielle just had too much ammo, unfortunately. And I think that's just how it worked out in my mind. But it was fun to see the showdown. This is the round table best part of it's like you could skip everything, just go to the round table. That's where the action is. It's very fun to watch. I think Danielle just had too much ammo at this point.
Yeah. I would say I didn't think I think I said this in the beginning. She didn't need to shoot her shot. I think it was too early. There's too much heat on her from the challenge, Carolyn. She should have just like not said anything because I don't know if Danielle was gonna say anything for her. I don't know who they would have voted out. They probably could have gotten behind voting out like a Tom or the other housewife, Dolores. But yeah, she just got frazzled and started crying, and it's just like, yeah, it's time to go. So
I
it's a
don't know
shame.
who else it would have been though. I think she was forced to shoot her shot because no one else had any heat on them. So it was basically me or you at that point. And so she had to
But
fire back.
But Dolores and Tom are going to vote for each other. And then there's only Dylan, Ivar, who else?
Brittany. Well, you
Gabby.
know, Brittany's going to be
Brittany
with
and Danielle are going to go together. So like
Gabby. You need to convince Gabby and Dylan.
I mean, if Dolores, Carolyn, Danielle, and Brittany all voted for Tom, for example, that's enough. And he would have gotten out. So
Brittany's just going to follow Danielle though.
that's
And
what
if
I mean.
Danielle-
Yeah. If Carolyn had just gone to her and be like, who should we vote for? She didn't need to at that point. My guess is production was probably in her ear, like, you need to take your shot tonight or you're going home. And then
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't pull back the curtain. Don't pull back the curtain for us. Let us enjoy this. No producers. This is all real.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like also in the conversations they had at like dinner, people were kind of mentioning Carolyn and Danielle. Obviously, they just showed those clips. It was probably more than that, but I feel like Carolyn did have to take her shot. But also, if you were faithful watching those two go at it, I mean, Gabby said this after the roundtable. Like, it was giving Rob and Boston and Bob the Drag Queen, because it was like, I feel like they were both guilty going back and forth at each other. And Danielle, the one time she's like calm and like composed and not over dramatic is when she's defending herself. And that's exactly the same thing with like Boston Rob, like how he was always so reserved and like quiet and just like articulating his words when people were coming at him. How do people not realize that Danielle's doing that same thing? Like, she's just a game player. That's what she does.
The hat pisses me off. The fucking hat.
Rob voting out or converting everyone to get Wes was like, I thought, the best strategy thing I had ever seen. I was like, that is unreal. But yeah, with Danielle, it's like, I was telling Hannah this. I was like, if you think somebody's a traitor and they're like, I'm not a traitor, but you know who we should actually go for is this person, odds are both of them are traitors because they're like, they're trying to save their back. So like immediately afterwards, hopefully next week, Gabby's like more onto it. She's like, yeah, Danielle's for sure a traitor. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, it came down. Sorry, go ahead, Charlotte.
No, I was gonna say, I think if they actually looked at it, Carolyn and Danielle, like they like went at it so hard, like fighting. And we know that they did that because they have so much beef from throughout the past few weeks. But to other people, wouldn't that be a little suspicious? Like, why were they so like mad at each other? Like, they don't know that they've been fighting. They don't know they don't get along and hate each other. Like, no one else in the house would know, or the castle would know that they hate each other. So I feel like that should also
Exactly.
like raise flags.
Yeah, you can tell when an argument
You would
like
think.
runs deep.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's
Mhm.
something more behind this. It's not just, oh, I think you're a traitor. We're trying to find out who the traitor is. Like you can tell it runs a little deep, and then that should be like you said, red flags. But it came down to Dylan. If I'm not wrong, the votes were pretty split, and Dylan is just going based off what he saw at the challenge and like he was torn up about it. And I hated that he was so much like on Danielle's side too, because he was like Carolyn and Danielle, I trust them both equally. And so he was just torn. But yeah, it came down to him. And if Carolyn had put on a better performance, I think Danielle goes home, and then all of a sudden we're singing a different tune, which I'm still going to critique Carolyn for how she's playing. I don't think she's playing a great game, but I like the way she's playing better than Danielle.
Well, she
All
wasn't
she
at that point.
all she needed to say was Jeremy told me Danielle's name and then he died. And then I don't know if you guys remember in the
The
challenge
shield.
with the shields. Yes, in the challenge where she had a choice to put herself to get a shield twice and didn't do it twice. That's all she had to
Insane.
say. That's all she had to say. I would have been like, what are we talking about here, guys?
And then
she
also
just,
mention the fact that like she's so over dramatic and like
Yes.
she's like purposely crying. Like be like, do you not think that's also part of it? Like she's clearly faking it.
I'm shocked no one has brought that up. That was never brought up ever. I was like, how did that not just happen? So that's all she needed to say, and she would have got home. I think she got a little frazzled, and that was it.
And you could just mention that like she's a Big Brother player. Like she's a gamer. And look around the room. There's not a lot of gamers left, and all the other traders were gamers. Like,
Yeah.
mention that too.
Yeah, I think whoever takes a shot next, I think Danielle's gone. But then it's like, so supposedly there's some Big Brother lore that Brittany betrayed Danielle and voted her
Mhm.
out in Big Brother years ago.
Wait,
That's what I've seen that on
okay.
Twitter too.
They apparently it was only like a 6 or 7 episode thing. It was reindeer games, and it wasn't for like the big $700,000 prize pot. It was $100,000, and Brittany turned on Danielle, and it was only like in episode 3. Like it wasn't even like at the end, so it really wasn't as deep as they made it seem in the beginning, or as Danielle took
Okay,
it.
you really just ruined like any type of hype that I was like getting really excited about. I was like, oh my God, this runs deep. Like she's gonna betray her. I was so excited.
No,
Now it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Only 100K. That's fucking nothing, right? That's,
well,
Yeah.
no, obviously, I'm
Backstabbing
saying,
me for 100K. Slap on the wrist.
yeah.
yeah.
but it
Must
was
be nice.
not. But they weren't even at the end. It was like a challenge
Betrayal's a
thing. Danielle didn't
betrayal.
win a challenge. Brittany got to choose who went where in the challenge and put Danielle last, so she had to go home. I like just
Yeah,
saw
and-
a video on this yesterday.
And those people are
Why does the
vindictive.
timing matter? Why does the timing matter that it was early on the season? You're
Oh,
saying all
I-
this
no,
stuff
I'm
about
just saying this is
Tom
what the
back in the
videos-
day, how he was such a bad guy.
Oh.
But now he's awesome.
And these people hold grudges. These TV people, they like any type
For
of
sure.
betrayal, you're gonna hold on to, and like you'll remember that.
For sure. There are still people that I don't like.
Yeah. Do tell.
No.
Yeah, no, it's
But people do. But people do.
you can't say that. You can't just be like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. But people definitely do hold grudges. I hope she betrays her. I hope she sends her home. That would be awesome. I don't know. Also, how do they prevent people from like, if I was Carolyn, I'm staying in the circle of truth, I'd be like, yeah, and by the way, Danielle's a fucking traitor.
Yes.
They're definitely not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know.
But what's stopping
Come
them?
on.
Like,
What's stopping them? Like, you know what? Actually,
Production being like, you just ruined the rest of the season for
but
us.
if you but put yourself in her brain. If you see Danielle act
don't
the
think
way
I
she
could.
act, that freak out, shaking, crying. If
Yeah.
I saw
Wait,
that,
ready?
if I saw that, I'm Carolyn. I'd be like, fuck this game. I'm a traitor. Danielle's a traitor. Fuck everyone. I'm out. Like,
Yes.
Wait, Carolyn made a video and she like made like a fake hat and like looked funny and was like talking about how mad she was. She like just posted this. Did
I
anyone
saw
see
that.
that?
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
everyone,
That was
the
good.
hat was so funny.
The reunion is
great.
coming up, isn't it? They haven't filmed
Oh,
it
the
yet. I think I
reunion's
saw
gonna
'em.
be great.
I'm
Have
gonna
they
get
not
the
filmed it?
tea. I don't think so. I'm gonna text. Is it live or is it recorded? Probably
I'm
recorded.
assuming it's recorded. It comes out on the same day as the finale, aren't they both March 6th?
yes, they're both in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna
so-
get some tea for us. We'll do
Please-
we'll
yeah,
do a preview show.
Yeah, pass that along. That'll be great.
Well, I know there's a lot of people have been going on podcasts and saying Danielle has been like behind the scenes, off camera. She would like swear on her grandkid's life that she's not a traitor and all of this like stuff, which I think is valid.
Fair game.
All's fair in love and war.
I was gonna say I actually don't hate that. Like
Yeah.
what game you're playing. Do you guys watch Survivor at all? I mean, Russell from Survivor and Tony, who was Tony on this season or season 2?
Yeah, this season.
Tony was like insane. Both of them were insane liars and manipulators, and people hated them. But I was like, I mean, actually, I think that's totally fair game. So I have no problem with that. I just wouldn't trust anyone. You just have to go in knowing like these people they literally lie for a living.
Yeah, Sierra seemed so mad about that, but then I saw someone comment and was like, "You guys are too sensitive," and I was like, "Yeah, it is a game. People are too sensitive."
Because I think I get caught up and I'm just like, I get mad that no one is figuring out that Danielle isn't the best actress in the world. So then I'm like, every time I hear someone shitting on Danielle's game, I'm like, hell yeah. But then if you think about it, I'm like, that's a smart move. Like, just it's part of the game. You're trying to survive and she's surviving. So
I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, like, because to me it seems so obvious, like that people should suspect her more. But yeah, I mean, also, how is it filmed? Is it every 24 hours there's a murder and then a roundtable the next day?
We've talked about this. Isn't there like there's off days, so it's like every other day they're
Because
doing
that
a
seems
challenge.
super quick.
And I think we were assuming there's off days. I don't think we actually know. We
But
don't
we
know
do-
the shooting schedule.
Or is it you, Charlotte,
you know
who
what-
said they?
That Sierra said she had her phone every.
Or they don't stay at the castle. They are like 40 minutes away. So then the traitors have to come back, film the turret stuff, and go back. So someone said, if you want to know who the traitors are, if you're in the castle, just look who's the most tired. And then because they're traveling back and forth way more because they're just staying at a hotel. So I don't know, like production wise, if it's every day they're murdering someone, but it's got to be close.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, in the days of like the game, they are like every night every night they banish someone and then murder someone, and then the next morning wake up and see who isn't there. Like every day, there's a day in the show. There's going to be a murder and a banishment.
This says there is an off day.
I feel like there has to be. They're doing so much activity.
They probably filmed this in 3 weeks, less than that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's kind of what I was
turn
thinking.
on their investment.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it only takes 3 weeks, and like they're dragging this out over what, 2 months?
Yeah.
What's Bachelor in Paradise is 21 days. Like,
really only 21 days?
And they do
21
2
days
episodes
is
a
so
week.
crazy.
Back in the day, it was 2 episodes a week, Monday, Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So
you got engaged in 21 days?
21 days is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Totally fucked up.
Well, you proposed again. People forget.
Yeah, 21 days. But it feels, I'm surprised they actually have their phone.
They don't have their phones. They don't have their phones. No. Sierra said on Summer House that she only checked her phone like every 6 days, and she had it for 30 minutes and couldn't go on social media. So she would just check her texts.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because I liked the no phone. And if you're in that and you're like cut off from the outside world, like 21 days is a long time.
Yeah.
If it's what you're doing 24/7, like they probably don't finish shooting until midnight at least, would be my guess.
Yeah.
And then they probably start at like 10 o'clock the next day, 9 o'clock the next day, maybe. So
I want to know how long the roundtables actually are. I would love to watch one uncut so badly, just see.
Yeah, a live stream of the
like the full round.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that is very interesting. They've been releasing on Instagram when the people get murdered, them getting like told who the traitors are and their reactions to that. That stuff's very interesting. Dylan, one idea we've had on this show, or like we've just tossed out, is what it would look like if we as the audience didn't know the traitors. We've kind of agreed that it wouldn't work, but I don't know what your opinion is on that, because obviously we know who the traitors are, so we know who's playing a good and bad game. Would it be interesting to see if we don't know and try to figure it out? But I don't know how you edit that or produce that. It's just tough.
I think you'd have to know, because that like dynamic keeps you like interested in the show. So yeah. Have you ever played before? Have you ever played like Mafia growing up? Did you ever play
I played Werewolf, which is very similar.
That's such like a Minnesota
we did.
thing.
You still think
Indiana.
Indiana? You're
Yeah.
doing the Vikings thing. You think
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota?
I mean, yeah, it's such an Indiana thing. Whatever. Uh, yeah,
It's fun.
Mafia is very fun. So I love that they made this a TV show. But yeah, I don't think you'd be able to watch it and not know. You probably just wouldn't be as invested, honestly, and like the relationships and stuff like that. I love Sierra though. I wish she went way farther. She is
My
Yeah.
like,
girl.
it's so funny. She like on TV. I feel like I've never seen Summer House. She's like she's very like proper and well dressed, which she is obviously. In person, I think she is one of the funniest people on planet Earth. Like we
She's so
spent.
funny. She's so
She's
great on Summer
so
House.
she's so funny. We all went to Stagecoach together and stayed in the same house, and she is like I was cracking up, and her accent is hilarious to me.
I love her so much. I was rooting for her so hard. I was miserable to see her go. But everyone was saying after the second episode of Summer House, they were like, "Oh yeah, she's like bringing what she got from the Traitors. Like she's treating the dinner like a
Yeah,
round table." She like pulled him was like, "Wes, that was a beta ass move." Like so great.
That's
it
awesome.
was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty funny. She's great. I think but like I said, I think next season is gonna be like Love Island US level popularity. I think it's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, last thing to talk about for this episode, the teaser at the end where I think this is Danielle's stupidest move of all time. She's had some stupid moves. She is allowed to recruit someone and she decides, of course, we all knew this was going to happen. She decides to recruit Brittany, or at least I don't think it was explicitly said, but Brittany gets an envelope, says meet downstairs or something. And it looks like she's recruiting Brittany, which is insane because you already have Brittany on your side. So you already
Insane.
have her in your pocket. You know she's going to follow what you do. So recruit someone else. All of a sudden, you basically have 3 traitors. Brittany's already on your side. She's already technically a traitor, but she doesn't know it. She's acting like one, though, because she's going to vote with Danielle. And then you recruit someone else. You have the numbers. Like, game's basically over. But now she's just like, oh, she's being too emotional with it, where she's like, this is my friend. I want her to win something here. And now I think that's the only way she loses now is by recruiting Brittany. If she recruited anyone else, I think it was game over.
She should have recruited. I thought she should have recruited Dylan. I thought that would have been like game over. The
Yeah.
3 of them would be able to run the table. But she just recruited her friend, and not surprising, she's not
Yeah.
playing the smartest game. So
I
that's
mean,
my thought.
it puts Brittany in a really, really tough spot because if the option is you either die or you become a traitor, obviously you're not going to just be like, no, just kill me. You're going to just be a traitor to have a chance at winning. But now you're with Danielle and everybody knows you guys are buddy anyway. And so all eyes are going to be on you two because all eyes are on Danielle, which means all eyes on you. And so Brittany's going to, if I'm Brittany, I think you kind of got to throw Danielle under the bus and do what she did to Big Brother, kind of get her out. And then people will be like, well, now we know there's 2 traitors now. So it's obviously you, Brittany. But then you could just be like, why would she recruit me?
Yeah.
Like,
Brittany
that
now
kind of
has a
thing.
path
So
to win. Just
I know
what you
there's a
described.
path.
Brittany has a path to win now. She betrays Danielle and then be like, why would she recruit me? It'd be so stupid. Because Brittany said that as she's opening the envelope. She's like, it's definitely not like Danielle because recruiting me would be so stupid. And then she's gonna walk downstairs and see Danielle. And it's like, it's dumb. It's a dumb move. But okay, so one part that I didn't understand was you can choose to like, yes, I'll be recruited or just die. Who would ever choose to die? Like what's the strategy there? Just be like, I don't like how you're playing.
Maybe Tom. Tom
I
would.
was thinking
Tom would
Tom would be
choose
like,
to
"Oh, I
die.
can't do this. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Tom would be a hilarious traitor.
Yes.
That also would have been a great let's just cause chaos because no one's gonna vote Tom out.
Tom would last 1 week as a traitor, but it would be the best week of all time. It'd be the
It
greatest
would
week of
be
television.
it would be so funny. Like, yeah, he'd be amazing. But yeah, if she got Dylan, I think it'd be over. But
Yeah.
I agree. I think Brittany's got a betrayer now, and then they need to kill one more person, then betray Danielle, then you're safe, and then you win.
Who do they kill here? Who's the move? I mean, we've been saying
Gabby.
Dylan for a couple weeks, but you think Gabby?
Gabby or Dylan. Yeah, but who would you blame the murder on for either of them?
Well, I think you can try to pin a dude, like pin the dudes against each other. Like now that everybody knows a traitor was recruited, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's for sure a dude." Like there's more dudes left, or like there wasn't any, traitor dudes yet. So I think they're gonna try to just put all the dudes against each other.
Yeah,
right? Because there's
Yeah.
just kind of
Well,
like a little
it's
pack
just
of them.
Dylan and Ivor, right? Oh, Tom.
Tom.
I keep-
And
You could
Tom.
kill.
Tom
You
is-
could kill. You could kill Dolores and try and blame Tom, and get him voted out.
That would be great, just to watch Tom try to defend himself there.
Yeah.
Because he'd shoot himself in the foot.
Easily.
But
I think
how would
killing
you
Gabby would
be
be
able
a
to?
stupid idea because I think there could still be an argument that she's a traitor.
Killing
Like,
Gabby? Killing who?
I'm saying if they decide to kill Gabby, that would be so stupid. Because
You could kill
Wait.
Tom, put it on Gabby.
I was
you
like,
could do
kill
that.
someone that like no one, because they can. I think
Ivor.
Danielle or someone could try and be like pin it on Gabby or try to get people to turn on Gabby, but you can't really. I think she's more prominent than Ivor. So like, if you kill Ivor and he's gone, they didn't think it was him anyway. But Gabby, you kill her, and they're like, well, now it's one of you smart people. Like, it's not Ivor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you can go for a safe kill or a
No, you
smart
could
kill.
go for a kill.
Like Ivor's a safe kill
I
because
don't think
everyone.
Gabby's a smart kill though.
Yeah,
I don't. I
Like,
think,
I think
Gabby-
any kill is a smart kill.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
It just depends
don't-
on how
I
you play
think-
it after.
I think the whole like pinning it on somebody, that doesn't really matter. That's just all convincing people to have different opinions, which you can do that with anybody that gets killed. You can be like, oh, well, why would you kill Dolores and try to pin it on Tom when Tom's been voting for her at the roundtables? If he was a traitor, he wanted to kill her, he would have killed her a long time ago. So I don't think you'd be able to pin that on Tom,
Yeah.
That's my thought with that. But
It's just it is frustrating gonna watch Danielle and Brittany try to figure this out because whatever they decide is gonna be the wrong move.
They get. I saw somebody was tweeting this. They get the interesting people out too early. It's like Boston Rob would have been electric right
Mhm.
now. Like they need to keep them a little longer, and they have like like in movies when there's characters that are like have a couple lines, they're around, but they're just there because they're gonna get like killed and people need to die. People want to
Mhm.
see action. Like that's what they need in this. Like have some
Yeah.
like secondary characters who just get killed off the first like 4 or 5 weeks, and
Like
then
Ion, she was so
then the
funny.
electricity starts.
Yeah,
it's because like all of the good game players either get banished quickly because everybody assumes it's them, or gets killed because they're a threat, because they're gonna find out who the traitors are. And so it makes sense that all of like the Dolores and Ivor that are kind of just like there, right, kind of just being controlled by the puppet masters, it makes sense that they're the ones left.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, I do like that mix of game players and just Tom Sandoval's, where it's you could have it depends on who you pick as the traders, which has to be the most fun like production meeting of all time, deciding who the traders are going to be. Also very stressful because you got to do it right. But I would love to be in that room where they're got a big whiteboard, have all the names, all the pictures, and they're deciding who's the trader is for that season. That would be very, very fun.
It's probably based off of your psych test. I think you probably take like a 400 question psych quiz, and they're like, oh, this person fits what would be a good trader for this season.
Very well.
Not to spoil
Again,
it for you, but that would be my guess.
Thanks, Dylan, for just ruining half the fun of this show.
But they're also probably just like, this person would be great, and they,
Yeah,
I would pitch myself so hard. I'd be like, I'll do whatever you want. I will cause as much chaos.
Yeah.
Think of me as just an extension of yourself.
I'm just a
Whatever
puppet.
you want me to do, whatever you want me to say, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm literally a puppet.
They should put you and Hannah on the same season. That's what we need couples. I want couples on the same season. That would be fun.
That would be fun. There's a couple on season 2.
Okay.
It was Michael Jordan's son and Larsa Pippen. were together.
That's so
It's a
funny.
wild
It's so
connection. Yeah,
funny.
it's so wild. But then I can't tell if that helps you or hurts you because everyone's just gonna be like they're gonna vote together, so we got to
Yeah.
break them up.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, we'll kind of wrap up there, Dylan. Since I don't know if you'll be on before everything wraps up. Do you want to give a final prediction on how things come out, how things shake out for the rest of this season?
I think Brittany wins unless there's like a colossal fumble on her part here. She actually now has the most power in the game, I think, assuming she takes the traitor role. Danielle's probably gone in the next week or two. Well, I mean, I guess she has to be because it'll be over. But I don't understand how she gets out of the next roundtable unless they kill Dylan.
Fair enough.
So my prediction, Brittany wins.
All right. Love it. Well, we'll tune in. Everyone tune in next week. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching this episode of BachMakers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider joining our Patreon page linked in the description below. It's $5, cup of coffee, and it helps support us a ton. Thank you, and maybe we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and from next week on the BachMakers, we shave Wyatt's head off.
Maybe. Only one way to find out.
By tuning in.
That was implied.
Back to you in the studio.
And cut.
Thanks, Julianne.